My name is Dan Whalen. I am the VP of Design and Development for Harbor Bay, and I also run the hospitality business that we now operate here in Cleveland. And today's a pretty special day as we cut the ribbon formally on our Intro Cleveland Mass Timber Development Project here in Ohio City. And so we have a really great panel here of guest speakers who are all outstanding partners for the project at one way, shape, or form. And Mark Bell, our CEO, is also going to say a couple words here. As we get started, I kind of wanted to talk about what is in a name, intro, and why is the project called that. And I think where we started this whole thing was trying to bring people together, trying to deliver something that they'd never seen before, trying to create a real sense of community. So this building is special in a lot of ways. It's a special place, a lot of special people involved, which you'll hear about here from Mark and the rest of the team shortly. And has become an international case study in innovation and sustainability, and it will continue to be so until our very next building, which ideally ends up right next door. There's 297 units here with a bunch of retail, restaurants, this beautiful event venue, and over an acre of public green space. And it's a turning point for what living in Cleveland should look like. We set an entirely new trajectory for our company in the process. We've formed countless partnerships, brought in many, many stakeholders, and quite frankly wouldn't be here without all of those in the room today. In this industry, the word precedent is used a lot, and it's usually used as a negative. We don't want to set a certain precedent in what we're doing, right? Hear that a lot when we talk to communities, neighborhoods, politicians, municipalities. What kind of precedent will this set? Well, precedent is the exact word that we want to use when we enter the discussion from here on out. This is the exact type of precedent we want to set. We want to build a building that exceeds every requirement from a sustainable aspect. We want to build a building that's more innovative, more beautiful, more sustainable than anyone like it. And that's where we want to start conversation. We want to inspire other developers to be more forward-thinking like we are. So, enough of the intro, and our first speaker today is going to be Mark Bell, our CEO.
Thank you, Dan. This project, I think, comprises a lot, obviously, and as we reflect, as I reflect, I'm a big believer in trying to find the right word that I think best reflects this project, and I think that word to me, is innovation. As Dan alluded to, I think the construction industry, the development industry, often is very uninnovative. Right? We try to be repetitive. We try to build the same way. Introducing new construction methodologies or engineering practices or different things, truthfully, is not often in the best interest of the industry because it transcends down to labor or transcends down to engineers, and people just aren't familiar with how products go together, connections are made, or supply chain differences. And so I think as we look to innovate and inspire our colleagues in development and construction, engineering, and design, this project really embodies that, right? Is that we looked at this and we said, how do we build mass timber? How do we go vertical in mass timber when really there was no precedent in that regard? We traveled to Canada, we traveled to Europe to get inspiration in other economies and countries that were, quite frankly, far ahead of the United States in regard to mass timber, and said, why can't we challenge ourselves and innovate in that regard? And so I think that was really the stepping stone of the project. From that point, we needed to, quite frankly, get lucky relative to our partners. And I think it starts with the state of Ohio. We selected the state of Ohio very carefully because, quite frankly, other states maybe were not receptive to mass timber. It was just it was a new technology, and so when we have essentially 50 candidates that we can choose from with various degrees of nuances, Ohio stepped up. The city, the county, the state stepped up big time, and it was really a project that they really embraced. We really appreciate that. And quite frankly, I think, in some regards, Ohio is the envy in relative to mass timber. Other cities are looking at this. Quite frankly, code officials, building officials, different things are coming to this particular site just to see what Ohio did, right? So we couldn't be more thankful. There's a lot of people that I want to thank. It's a team project. We're a family-based company that's really grown, and we appreciate all our team members. In that regard, there was so many, hundreds of hands that had a pivotal touch in this development. Talk about jobs for a second. I mean, jobs is a big deal. Sometimes it's in development. It's always construction jobs, right? Which is very important. We produce, I think, over 400 full-time construction jobs over the course of 2 years in a pandemic type of situation, right? And consider the pandemic for an instance. There again, Ohio, we work in different states. I'm not going to name anybody in particular that didn't do quite well during the pandemic, but Ohio stepped up. Governor DeWine and his administration, was very particular as far as what infrastructure meant and allowed us to not skip a beat and move forward on this project where I think other states didn't compete as well, and we're very appreciative of that. As far as full-time jobs, we have 250 full-time new jobs. We're not recycling, playing musical chairs, taking this tenant over here and moving into the building. We have 250 new tenants and new jobs that came into this project that actually, that obviously have a very significant effect as far as the community is concerned, as far as the tax base is concerned, notwithstanding the fact that, quite frankly, in the post-COVID era, we have a lot of sole proprietors that are working in this building with communal space that are driving economic commerce into this community. So I want to take just a brief few more minutes just to acknowledge a couple people in particular, Mayor Bibb and his administration. I think the future is very bright in the city of Cleveland. We love kind of the progressive nature and pro-development and just trying to work in the right context. So Mayor Bibb and his administration, we look forward to continue to work together. Governor DeWine and Lydia Mahalik behind us. I was kidding Lydia here in a second, but we do go to other states and look at Ohio as the blueprint as far as kind of what we think other states should quite frankly compete, because Ohio did compete, and we were really proud for their partnership. Obviously, the Cleveland Building and Construction Trades Council, all the laborers, Dave Wondolowski, you can't build a building like this without excellent labor. So we appreciate that greatly. All our contractors, Panzica, to all our trades. I mean, heck, tough project, right? But we appreciate you guys mightily. And, it's we all learned a lot on this project. And so I think the bar is set higher now as far as kind of what we think we can build and what our colleagues can build. And hopefully this serves as a springboard and catalyst as far as how we build better. Port of Cleveland. Not many people know, but Port of Cleveland, from a financial standpoint, has a lot of creativity. We appreciate their support, notwithstanding the fact that, as many of you know, our structural mass timber wood was shipped from Austria to the Port of Cleveland. So it was nice to see such obviously a central part to the building shipped through the port. That leads me to Binderholz. Binderholz is internationally, we believe them to be the very best in mass timber production, and they're out of Austria. We've gone out to see them. They're here today. We appreciate them greatly, and we expect to do great things moving forward with them. Ohio City Inc., Tom McNair in particular and his team, appreciate it greatly. Lenders, First National Bank of Omaha, Busey Bank, and First National Bank of Pennsylvania. Can't do it without you guys. Really appreciate it. It's probably not easy to loan also. You want to talk about toughness to build. Well, it's tough probably to finance things that don't have a precedent. And so we appreciate the innovation as well on the financing end. HPA Architect, Greater Cleveland Partnership. Can't say it enough. I mean, it's just got to have good architects, got to have good engineers to think outside the box and push innovation. We appreciate that. To the Harbor Bay team and the extended team, tough project, I know, and we appreciate everyone's blood, sweat, and tears into this project, from ops to construction to development to the growing of hospitality. You know, I see Vince out there. I appreciate you. You know, he puts this whole thing on together. This is kind of his baby. But, you know, we're a family company rooted in family values, and you know, the company is growing into a broader family. And so, you know, we try to treat everyone like family members. We try to treat our labor and our partners and everyone as family. So it's a family effort in this thing, and we appreciate it. So with that said, appreciate everyone coming today. This is a great moment for everyone involved, and again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark. Our next speaker is from the City of Cleveland Administration, Mayor Bibb's administration, the the Development Chief of Integrated Development. Is that right? I know that the titles have changed a little bit over the past 180 days, but a lot has changed here. So for those of you thinking about doing business with Cleveland, now is the best time in the last 20 years to do so. Chief of Integrated Development, Jeff Epstein.
Thanks, Dan, and thanks, Mark. I have the unenviable task of standing in for Mayor Bibb, who couldn't be here today and asked me to represent the city. First, congratulations to Mark and Dan and the Harbor Bay team, and thanks for your investment in Cleveland. This is really an incredible building and an incredible property that helps continue the growth in the city. The city was part of this project in many, many ways, getting creative with some financing approaches, learning to work with mass timber, and I want to thank the many people at the city. I see Tom Vanover from our building department here, who worked. I know James Green and Dulcie Sanchez who worked on the tax abatement. There are dozens of people at City Hall who touch projects like this and help them get across the finish line, and they're working every day in the trenches, and really want to offer a thank you to them. From the city's perspective, you think about how this building has transformed, the intersection has transformed Ohio City, and I think back to the shopping center that was on this plaza and how different it feels when you come across that bridge today, and I think that is really emblematic of the transformation that we're continuing to see throughout the city, and I think this building also really starts to accelerate the thought of what is possible in terms of dense, transit-oriented development, the kind of development that I see our friend Grace Carlucci here from NOACA wants to see, that RTA wants to see in the neighborhood, and we hope to see even more density adjacent to our rapid transit, adjacent to the upcoming 25 Connects project on West 25th coming here. I think this project is going to help accelerate additional investment in the city in ways that we're really excited about. It also comes at a unique time in the city's history with Mayor Bibb having taken office in January, with our team really committed to unlocking the full potential of the West Side market, moving to a nonprofit model, really making some improvements in the market, and having this building across the street to pair with that is really exciting for the hundreds of thousands of visitors that see the market every year. And finally, I think the commitment to sustainability and green building here with this incredible mass timber building is tremendous. We are a green city and a blue lake. We are a city, the forest city, with a history of innovation in our DNA here in Cleveland, and having this huge commitment to mass timber, to sustainability, that I think will blaze a path for future mass timber buildings within the city of Cleveland. We already have one with the Cleveland Foundation building in Midtown that is mass timber, and hopefully a lot more to come. And I know that the burden of being first, there was a lot to work through for the Harbor Bay team and for the city, but hopefully this opens the way for many more mass timber buildings that symbolize the city and the mayor's commitment to sustainability and climate change. So with that, thank you, congratulations, and on behalf of the mayor, so thrilled that this project is here and is open.
This is not planned. Dan's supposed to come back up here, but it made me think of when you were making those comments. I want to just really publicly acknowledge Tom Vanover over here. I didn't see you come in, so you're in the wheelchair, so you got to tell me how that happened. And you cut your hair. But Tom's a great guy. He's a head building official for Cleveland. Wouldn't have done it without you, and really appreciate it. So let's build taller, and let's challenge other building officials across the country. But I know you went out on a limb for us, and we appreciate that.
Heal up quick, all right? You too, Mrs. Bell. To further broaden the partnerships, we talked a lot about the state of Ohio, and yes, Cleveland happens to be located in Ohio, but more so, when we made a couple trips to Columbus, we really started to be received with open arms, and with the Department of Development, headed up by Director Lydia Mahalik, I can probably say we have not had a more efficient, more welcoming experience with any state that we've ever worked with or continue to work with moving forward to this point. So she will speak next, Director Lydia Mahalik.
Well, thank you very much. It really is a pleasure to be with you all today. On behalf of Governor Mike DeWine and Lieutenant Governor John Husted, we are so proud of this project, and we are very happy to be able to celebrate what you have done here today. I want to congratulate Mark and the entire Harbor Bay team for the work leading to today's ceremony. You guys are rock stars. I mean, you have done something absolutely incredible here in Cleveland, here in this state. We are definitely thrilled that Harbor Bay has chosen Ohio for this project. Congratulations. Please, Jeff, convey my congratulations to Mayor Bibb and the City of Cleveland for your role in making this a reality. It definitely takes, it does take someone to be the first. So thank you very much for willing to be that city. This truly was a team approach. Because we want to also be able to thank the Port of Cleveland, the Greater Cleveland Partnership, and Ohio City, Inc. for their participation as well. Of course, Department of Development is very proud of their investment as well. We certainly were a part of the financing for this project, but Harbor Bay was also able to take advantage of a few key programs. The Opportunity Zone program at the federal level, which we are very proud to be able to say is a key success in this, but also an extra 10% credit that Governor DeWine led to be able to put into this project as well. It's an exciting project to be a part of because it's the largest building of its kind in the United States, and of course, as been said and mentioned, the first mass timber project in Ohio. And this is the kind of thing that certainly can happen when we work together. And at the state level, we like to call it the Team Ohio approach. Harbor Bay has told us that they've come to call it, quote, the Ohio experience. And they were thrilled at the cooperation and the help that they received at the state and the local levels. And as a tribute to the teamwork in this project, Intro Cleveland was recently named a gold winner of the International Economic Development Council's Public-Private Partnership Excellence Award for communities this size. So I want to say congratulations to you. Thank you very much. This is really what we want to be known for. We don't want to just say that we are business friendly as a state. We actually want to be business friendly. And we want to be able to demonstrate that to all of you every single day. There are some incredible things that are happening in our state, in large towns and in small towns, and it's truly an exciting time. Under the leadership of Governor DeWine and Lieutenant Governor Husted, Ohio is experiencing some really unprecedented growth. Our economy is surging, our state budget is on very firm footing, our state unemployment is very low at about 3.9%. But projects like Intro Cleveland show that Ohio is moving forward, always looking towards the future. Programs like Opportunity Zones can help move the needle, and visionaries like the folks at Harbor Bay know how to use these programs to improve, ultimately, the communities that they work in. Our mission at the Department of Development is empowering communities to succeed. That's in our DNA. We strive to be bold, to be diverse, to be responsive, and to be solutions focused. When Harbor Bay reached out to us, we figured out how that we could assist in this project. And at Development, we wanted to be a partner. And at Development, we're here to help. We are so proud to be able to be a part of this project, and we can't wait to see the energy and the activity that this iconic location will bring to this community. Congratulations, Mark. Congratulations to Harbor Bay, and congratulations to Cleveland.
I think our next speaker just landed from the airport, so we're going to hurry up and rush her on stage. What's that? All right, we'll jump. We'll come back. How's that? Real quick story about this whole process. Mark mentioned we went far and wide to find the right partners, especially on the timber side, because just like everybody else in the universe, we had no idea what we were doing with it when we started either. One of those trips we took was to the far northern reaches of Canada, and James and I, our head of construction, we got to co-pilot a single-engine prop plane up to the Arctic Circle. And I'm just really glad that we lived to tell about it, because that's how we ended up actually moving forward to find the true partner that we had for this project in Binderholz, which is from Austria. And obviously we spent a lot of time overseas getting to know, learn, understand everything we could about mass timber, both before we started developing with it, before we started designing with it, and all the way through construction. And we continue to learn and innovate on those processes, both on site and as we move forward into our next project. So the managing director from Binderholz is here, Helmut Spieth.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, it's a big honor to be here. And first of all, let me give you, Peter, and I get introduced to your wife, a big thank you being part here. And best regard from our CEO, Reinhard Binder. It was not possible for him to come here. It's a big honor for us to be a part in the business here with you. And I thought a lot, what should I talk about here? Because originally I should be the last one to talk here. So I want to ask you, did you know that it took the nature and the evolution to develop the timber as a tree and to develop the ecosystem forest 500 million years? Did you know that? That's a long time to create this very intelligent product timber. And it was developed to get used in a building like this here. It's super intelligent, and everyone who knows how a building product should work would develop timber. If you would be that intelligent and the nature, it's a very good insulation material. It's super structurally strong. It is very fire resistant. It's a super intelligent product. And great congratulations to Harbor Bay. You got it. You understood it, and you're the first one here in the States. And you motivated us as Binderholz to speed up our interest, to grow our company here in the US, and we will be, latest in 3 years, run our US cross-laminated timber and glulam factory. By the way, welcome Thomas Mende. He is from our Zone Lumber department here in the US, and Anna did a great job on this building, and she is my sales director. So congrats again. And there will be 4 who will be very thankful to Harbor Bay that you have done this building in timber. First of all, it's us. Binderholz. We are very thankful. Secondly, it will be the user of the apartment, because timber is arriving with a very well-being atmosphere in the room. It is arriving with a high quality of the air. We're always talking about structural topics and other things, but it is a natural product and it is arriving with a very, very nice climate in the air. And then it is the third one who will give you a big thank. It is the climate. Because everyone knows that the photosynthesis absorbs, so the tree absorbs when it is growing CO2, carbon. So that's a big carbon sink here. And this is a way of decarbonizing our atmosphere, which is very, very important. And third, it will be the environment. It's a super environmental friendly product, and it is less pollution on the earth when we work with timber. So that's the only thing I wanted to tell you. I keep it short. Once again, thanks that we could be a part. We are honored. Thank you, Mark.
Right. Your show. Okay. Our next speaker is the Head of Innovation and Technology for Advantage Austria. So I imagine you had a fairly long journey to get here. But Victoria Liedl will be our next speaker. Please welcome.
Thank you, everyone. So my journey was not too long because I came from New York, but what I saw so far is already impressive, and I'm already thinking of moving here, so you got me already. We as Advantage Austria, the Austrian Trade Commission, are here and all around the world to help Austrian companies to expand, and in our case to expand to the US and help them with the US market entry. And that's why it's our honor, and we really, really enjoy seeing what with an Austrian company here, what made an Austrian company here, and to see this project. Austria is a pretty small country, as you probably know, but as a small country, we have a really, really strong tie to the US, and we are one, relatively seen, of the most active trade partners for the US. I was surprised to hear that too. Actually, even though the year 2020 and 2021 were pretty rough for all of us, the export from Austrian goods to the US raised 20%, and we still know it's still a rough time. It's still raising. So this makes us very proud. As I said, Austria is a pretty small country, and therefore we're super, super proud to see what, as I said, an Austrian company, a Binderholz, an Inter-Cleveland project made here. Inter-Cleveland is Cleveland's first and America's largest mass timber project. And to me, it's super wonderful to see Austrian timber coming from the Alps through the Antwerp port to the port of Cleveland and then here to this amazing project. Finally, I'd like to talk about the significance of this endeavor in terms of sustainability. Inter-Cleveland is a sustainable showcase project and on a global scale. Especially in the construction industry, it is difficult for companies to build something sustainable. Harbor Bay and Binderholz should serve as a modern and many future development project in the United States because of the amazing method in which they have combined aspects of sustainability, design, and practicality. We are delighted to be able to support Binderholz with this project and hopefully many others in the future. Harbor Bay and Binderholz are a shining example of the successful relation Austrian-American companies and businesses can have by working together. This is also why Binderholz has been awarded the Global EcoVision Award in 2021 by our headquarter, the Austrian Economic Chamber, for innovative technologies, products and services, as well as the Advantage Austria Spectacular Award in 2022 for helping construct the U.S. largest timber building and setting a new standard of sustainability within the construction industry in the U.S. Once again, congratulations to this project and thanks for inviting me.
All right, we are rapidly wrapping things up here. A lot of these programs have a tendency to drag on, so we're trying to move at a steady clip to get back to the bar. One of the final things that we wanted to do is Rhiannon Jacobson, the Managing Director for the U.S. market for Transportation and Development of the U.S. Green Building Council. So this is a pretty cool day for us, not only to cut the ribbon here, but she has a special announcement, and she's going to make a presentation to Mark Bell.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I am a 16-plus year veteran at USGBC, which means that I've seen some amazing projects, and there are a couple of things that I've learned, one of which is to never come over-prepared with remarks if you're at the end of any presentation and series of speaking remarks. So I was able to hear a lot of what people were saying today, and I want to kind of comment on that and tell you how it applies to what we do at USGBC and with LEED. Another thing that I've learned, never stand behind people or between people in a bar. So we are going to be quick with this, but I really want to thank you for your attention because there are a lot of exciting pieces happening today. So who am I? You heard Rhiannon Jacobson. I am our U.S. Managing Director for Market Transformation and Development. I have had the incredible privilege to travel around the world and to see amazing residential, commercial, just about any kind of built environment project you can imagine. And I was telling somebody earlier, every time I come to a new one, I have a new favorite. So you can't ask me later what my official favorites are because, of course, we love all of our projects equally. But the one that you're in today is something that is incredibly innovative. You've heard a lot about mass timber. This is the first LEED Gold project in the country, or the largest LEED Gold project in the country to utilize mass timber. So as you can imagine, at the U.S. Green Building Council, we have been really transforming the built environment through LEED for nearly 30 years, and it is difficult to find a lot of firsts. So I'd love to give a huge round of applause for that first. So overall, what are we doing at the U.S. Green Building Council and with LEED, and kind of what is LEED? Why does it matter? We're proud to say that we're certifying 1.8 million square feet per day to LEED. That might be a school, it might be a data center, it might be multifamily, it might be a grocery store, kind of all of those buildings that you know about, they are certifying. 1.8 million square feet per day is a lot, but I want to be very clear, it's not enough. When we think about the attributes and what happens when you come into a healthy building, how you feel about yourself, how your productivity increases, what you feel about the neighborhood you live in. This is something we want to make sure that gets to everywhere and to everyone. Right now, when we look at our ticker, if you will, we have more than 100,000 projects like this in 187 countries and territories all around the world, all 50 states in the US. But again, that's a drop in the bucket when we think about the number of buildings that there are and really making sure that this experience can be for everyone. So with that, if we walk away with one thing, it's really that challenge, that imperative to ensure that something like this doesn't become just a singular project, that this is something that you're able to apply to a lot or kind of all of the projects that you're working on. So congratulations to Harbor Bay. This is an incredible example of leadership. Earlier, you heard that word precedent, and you heard innovation. And now I want to add to that when we think about what leadership means. It's really being able to set an example, to call out what is important at both a company level, at a community level, and at an occupant level for the building, for the people in the building itself. Unfortunately, with the pandemic, we had a period where people were very afraid of the buildings they were in. It was the first time ever we were really afraid of the air that we were breathing. So coming back to that, being able to be in person, you're seeing really an increased awareness. And I want to thank companies for being so aware and really leading the charge. And with that, it is my pleasure today to formally recognize this project as a LEED Gold building. It is one of nearly 14,000 projects here in the United States to achieve that level, and more than 24,000 projects across the world. So congratulations to Mark, to the Harbor Bay team, to everyone that worked on this project. You heard earlier, hundreds and thousands of people were connected to this project and really worked to make it happen. So congratulations, and we're going to take a first peek at the plaque.
A lot of times, development as a whole gets a little bit of a bad rap, and I think there's a lot of reasons for that. I think there are plenty of projects that could definitely fall into the category of not ideal, but I think it'd be very hard for anyone to objectively argue that this property in this area is not better off for something like this becoming real. And development doesn't always have to be a fight. It can be a partnership. It can be exciting. It can be community-driven. I see neighbors. Tim Del Papa's here. Like, the block club in this area engaged with us, and we engaged with them from the very first day before we even had any drawings. And all people want to do is be heard, and they want to know that their community is in good hands. And as developers, that's the way that the company and our trajectory is moving forward, is to find a purpose, not just to build buildings as fast as we can at the lowest quality and the cheapest price. It's to do better. It's to be better. This project was never about being the first mass timber building or the largest. It was about being special, and it was about being historic, and about tipping our cap to the building across the street, and really hunkering down and being a part of this community. And hopefully, not just today, but for many years, we continue to achieve that. And so a lot of people, certainly everyone in this room and a lot of people who aren't here today, all played a role in that, and everyone here should be proud, not just our Harbor Bay team. So we thank you. We're excited. We're beyond blessed to be standing where we are today, and we appreciate it, and thanks for coming.